Okay, let's go.
Okay, I think we are live. Welcome everybody to the Osaka Digital Hub. LP, you're going to let everyone in?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome Seb, welcome Quarantine, welcome Bino, welcome Steven.
There's Stevie.
Okay, just once we get everyone in, we're going to get started. Are we good to go, LP? Okay, super. Yeah, welcome to the Osaka Digital Hub, your new hotspot for all learnings and all things hockey. Today we have invited our friends from Scored, who have a really, really nice project running that they're about to launch. So obviously today and through these weeks, we have a really difficult time with everybody not being able to play hockey and having to stay at home. And what's really cool is the guys from Scored have come up with a really nice game. It's called the Stay at Home Fantasy Hockey League. And I think that's really exciting stuff for everyone. This new game, it's an online simulation game based on the matches that should have been played. So this is the games, including the 16 teams, men's and women's, that would have participated at the KO8 EHL finals in Amsterdam. And Scored have built a simulator which will predict the games, who scores, takes a yellow card, who wins, who loses, etc. So during this session, we're going to talk to the guys from Scored and why they decided to partner up with the EHL. We have Quarantine, who's the game manager from Scored. Welcome. We have Sebastian, who's one of the co-founders of Scored. We have Louis Leipart, also known as Pino. We're going to have Davey Hart, one of the world's best goalkeepers, joining us soon. And we have Stephen Finlater, the legend from the EHL and a legend reporter who's joined us. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Seb, because Seb, I think it's important that you get a little introduction about Scored, what you guys do. And yeah, maybe you can tell us a bit about Scored and what you're about.
Yes, thanks, Stephen, for the intro. Thanks for having us here. We're very excited to be part of this and also to launch this cool game together with DHL. Like you said, maybe a little word about Scored. So we're in a worldwide platform, a community of hockey fans. We basically want to connect players all over the world. We're trying to find cool and creative ways to do so, to help players to play abroad. That's one of the main things, and bringing as much as interesting content and information to the players, the coaches, and the fans. So that's what we do in a couple of words. And obviously, in these times of crisis and period without actual hockey, which is very oh, there is the other legend. Hi, Davey.
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 Hold on
1 second.
Hey, Dave.
Okay.
So obviously in times like this, when connecting the hockey community, that's obviously exactly why we were putting together this digital hub. And I think what you guys are doing is super cool. And I think there's no more important time to bring the hockey community together. So I think that sounds like maybe you can, I think that's a really good time for it. So
yeah, exactly. And we were thinking on how to basically, we were planning something with EHL because we've been working with the EHF and the EHL before. We did some great things together, and we didn't want to blow up our plans, and we were thinking in a new kind of way to still keep the EHL alive and do something cool around it. And that's when we discussed together, and we came up with a new idea, a new structure of the game, which Corentin will explain in detail. But yeah, we're pretty proud of it because I think the result is cool. We've got more than 1,500 teams around Europe, mostly, I think, playing. So which is pretty cool.
Okay, super. Quarantine, maybe you can tell us, that's why we're here, to talk about the game. So maybe you can tell us about the game.
Yeah, of course. I will share my screen, and I prepared a little presentation with some visuals to make it all more clear. let me just share my screen.
Hey, Pino, no texting, eh?
I'm texting Davy.
Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then I will talk about the stay-at-home fantasy. So a game that we at Scored, we created. First of all, you have to know that we wanted to create a fantasy game for the EHL. But yeah, due to the circumstances that we all are familiar with, yeah, this one was put on hold. So we had to come up with a new idea, and that's why we created the first ever hockey simulation game based on the EHL Final 8. We started from the basic principle of having a fantasy league. So a fantasy is actually your players get rated depending on the games they played. So if they scored a goal, they have like +4, +5 points, and things like that. If they have cards, they have minus points, etc. This concept, we just kept to ourselves the concept, but now the game will be run by simulations.
Cool.
We have some new features about the game to make it even more exciting than before. First of all, there is the mini competitions. I will tell about that in the next slide. There is the random draft and of course the simulations. So here you have an overview of all the new things. You will start when you sign up. You will have to pick your team name, and then you will be able to choose a competition. We have a public league or a league with friends. Both of the competitions are restricted to a maximum of 8 players. And then once you are in a competition, it's in that competition you will compete. So you cannot go in a friendly competition and in the public league.
Okay.
What's really nice about these competitions is that players can only be bought once. So if I buy Arthur van Doren, for example, nobody in my competition can buy him as well. So yeah, that's something new that we introduced. Due to this, our transfers are also unlimited. And yeah, to do transfers, you have to pick someone from your drafted team, put him back on the transfer list, and you have also an adapted budget. And with this budget and the worth of the value of the sold player, you can buy new players that are performing better or that have better ratings to increase your team and build a strong team as possible before that the tournament starts.
So Quarantine, just to interrupt you there, people need to get online now then and start making their team.
Yeah, they need to get out online right now because Sunday at 6 will be the first game. So they have time until Sunday to subscribe to make a team. And something real cool to know also, all the transfers that can be done will be put in daily. So daily there will be 10 women, 10 men players that we put on the transfer list. So you have to battle with your friends to get the best players, and it's every day at 5 o'clock that the transfer list gets updated. So then the battle begins. Something new as well for this year is that we have a first ever female EHL as well. So when you sign in, you can choose between a men's team and a women's team. You can make both also if you want.
Okay.
And that's a feature that we didn't have before for the EHL. So that's quite nice. I will now show you how the game works when you're on the platform. So when you get to Scored, you have to click on the fantasy.
So just to go back, that's everyone can see it there. It's scored.com/fantasy. Yeah, that's how we
exactly.
Yeah.
And then when you're on the platform, you like I told, you can choose between a men's team and a women's team. So I will show it here with my men's team. You have several tabs here. I will show one by one. Here you have my team. So you can see my team at the moment.
That's
that
disappointing.
I picked.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I know, David.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's okay. No biggie. It's okay.
Yeah, you were too expensive.
Oh, rubbish.
Okay, and then so you can see the team. You can see also the rounds. When the games get played, this has to be updated. It will be 6 o'clock, not 2 o'clock.
Okay.
We will have 2 games a day. So 1 game of the men's, 1 game of the women's. Next on, the next step is, for me, the most important one is the transfer one. So here you can see my team. I used all my budget already, so I have no budget left. But as you can see, all the players, yeah, have their own value. And yeah, if you take an Arthur van Doren, for example, that is 15 million, then your budget gets down real quickly. To do transfers, you always have to remove a player from your team. So for example, I will remove here 1 player. You can see immediately that my budget gets updated, and then I have to replace him with another defender. So I will go here. I can search for the positions. I'm looking for a defender, and the first ones are too expensive. I can't buy them. Here, Christopher Held, I can buy him. I can pick him, and then he will be updated in my team. To confirm your transfers, you have to save your lineup, and then the player that I picked won't be in the transfer list anymore, so nobody else can pick him.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't save it because I'm happy about my team, especially my goalkeeper.
Yes, well played, sir. Well
Your
played.
captain.
Also important is to select a captain, because your captain will have the double of points. So if he scores 1 goal, it will be like he scored 2, etc. Also, if he takes a card, yeah, a pity for you, he will have more minus points.
And on the, sorry, just to interrupt, on the scoring system. So let's talk, we have Davy Hart, of course. Goalkeeper, I guess clean sheet is maximum points, is it?
Clean sheets, yeah, it's high points for a clean sheet, but that's all the points are explained in the rules. I don't know all the points out of my head, but you can find all the
Just go to
points
them. Huh?
in the rules. Yeah, I can go here, and then for example, goals against, clean sheet for a goalkeeper is +4.
Okay.
And then you can see also for scoring a goal, a field goal, if a keeper scored a goal, it's +10, if a defender +6, and then we go and so on. So here, next step that I wanted to discuss is all the players. Here you will see all the players of the tournament, which is nice, is that you will see all the points that they earned, how they earned it, and you will also be able to see their rating. You can choose a player depending on his form. If he had a lot of points and that he's still on your list, I won't hesitate and I will pick him. The next step is the schedule. Quite easy. You can see who is playing against who. That's also how you can decide maybe if to drop a player, if to buy another one. And then one for the competitive guys is the rankings. I like it that you can see 3 different rankings. You have the general one with all the players that are playing. You have the rankings per match day, and you have the rankings in your mini competition. So that's the competition I talked about, of maximum 8 players.
Okay.
And then just the last thing I want to I want to show 2 more things. So now I talked about the men. Here I can switch to my women's team. Here you can see I have a lot of budget remaining. because I joined this league yesterday, and I went to an open league, and yeah, a lot of good placers were already taken.
Okay.
So I did my best to have a strong team as possible, but now I have to wait for somebody to drop a player, and then I can buy her.
So just to be clear, if you want to create a team or a league with your friends, so you can get 8 people into your own league, and that happens by creating your own league, is it? Is that right?
You can create your own league, and then once you have it, you have to name it, and you also get a URL,
Okay.
so that you can share with your friends. And
Is
then
there a way to show that, Skoda? Obviously not with yours, because you can only have 1 mini league per person, but
with mine it's not possible.
But
But
maybe we can show that with Loic or Davy after.
yeah, okay. And then the last thing I want to show is how the simulations will be visualized. I think that's really cool. We have here a design of how the simulations will work. So you will see the minute of the game where something
captain scores. Yeah, I like that. Very
something
smart.
like that, when a goal is scored, when a save is made. Also, this is a prototype, and it will look like this for all the games. So you can follow all the game events on
Very good.
on this.
And just to be clear, the league is starting on this Sunday. Is that correct?
This Sunday at 6, the first game will be played, and that's Bloemendaal against Surbiton.
Okay.
We already know the result, right?
I don't know the result. That's a simulation.
Our friend Arthur van Doorn picked up a yellow card for her wild.
No surprise.
Here, a wild tackle.
Yeah.
Okay. How was
Maybe-
the run for?
I will now stop sharing my screen.
maybe one thing, it's important also to explain that the simulation has been put a lot of energy and work into. So it's maybe you can talk about that.
To make the simulator, to be honest, it wasn't always that easy, because we had to collect a lot of data from a lot of players. We have a lot of different ratings, so you have, for every player, you have an attacking rating, defending, passing, and dribbling, and then for the PC takers also a different rating. And for all those players, men and women, we had to make a sheet that made sense. We used a lot of help from players from the EHL to get to these ratings, and to have the simulations that it makes sense, and that it's not just invented like that. And it had some frustrations with our with people, because we had to adapt it a lot. So blood, sweat, and tears, but I'm convinced it will work.
It looks super, and there's no better time to be encouraging people to stay at home and also to stay connected to hockey.
Exactly, you can play your game while sitting in your couch at home.
Can I just add one more thing to make it 100% clear? There is no real money involved with this, because maybe this will disappoint also people, but it's all fake. It's all just for the pleasure of keeping connected with hockey and challenging your knowledge about hockey with your friends. But it's both to play the game. It's 100% free to create an account, and there is no money to gain for no one. So just to make that clear.
Okay, that's nice and clear. I think it might be really interesting to hear from our friend there, Davy Hart. Davy, how are things without hockey? And I guess this is really nice now that you can get back and play in the EHL. Oh wait.
It's muted.
Are you unmuted? Oh wait. There we You were talking.
I think maybe the host wasn't happy with all my comments throughout the last part, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I think it is a fantastic idea. Having grown up in Ireland in a similar system, I used to be involved in the football side of things, the fantasy football, which used to get all our attention throughout school when we were even in primary school and secondary school. So having an opportunity now, and what's even stranger is seeing your own name on a fantasy league, which is quite cool as well. Although a couple of those scores are a bit too high in my opinion. We'll probably try to get a few of my mates involved as well. And as you said, the maximum of 8 per league, which is really cool. It gets actually quite competitive. And a couple of the important parts of getting in early, first come, first serve, because as you said, if you don't get in, you won't get the players. And there has already been a lot of verbal words exchanged throughout that group. We've already set up a WhatsApp group as well, because you can obviously constantly update it. So as you said, on Sunday, come the live game as well, you can obviously be checking the simulator and be talking backwards and forth throughout that as well. It's a fantastic initiative set up, of course, by Scored, who are obviously trying to connect people around the world, which is one of the key priorities of Scored, and that's why I'm so happy to be involved in Scored as an ambassador as well. So I'm really looking forward to see this, because obviously the first time, and it is disappointing we can't be there in person playing, of course. But as you said, Stephen, it's obviously the best for everyone right now to be staying at home, and this is one way to pass some time being involved in some capacity in the sport that we all love.
Yeah, very good.
Is your brother in your mini league?
No, he didn't make the cut. None of the 8 players, unfortunately.
But he can start his own, huh?
He can also start his own, maybe with some of his racing friends down in Brussels as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And over to you, Loïc. Loïc, you've been creating your own team in the background, have you?
Yeah, of course. Like Davey made up with his friends, and we started a little league with Brax. And I was really lucky because none of the guys had picked some players, so I could really go along and pick some nice, good players. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it brings some fun and attention to hockey. I think that's a nice thing in these strange circumstances. So yeah, I like this initiative and happy to join this cool thing.
Yeah.
You pick Davey.
I didn't pick Davey, man.
Oh, that's okay.
Way too expensive, that guy.
To be fair,
David,
I didn't pick.
David, did you pick yourself?
I didn't pick myself. No.
Why not?
Yeah, because I thought that maybe it'd be better off spending money elsewhere. I was happy, you know. I have to be tactical about mine. So I have my 11, of course, that I've selected with the 100 million fantasy budget. But I also have a dream 11 if there was an unlimited budget as well, obviously.
Yeah, it would be maybe nice if you can show us show your 11 that you have right now to us. Maybe that we can discuss that, and certainly the part where you didn't pick yourself.
Don't worry. I'll try. Just log on here, and then is it just simply I just share my screen like you did?
Yeah.
Okay. As I said, I was also a little bit late a couple of times as well to the party, so I missed out on, you know, I like the idea of the push notifications as well coming through with the updates that new players have just been dropped on the market. I quite enjoy that, but I do find myself getting the old sweaty palms when I can't get on. So this is the one I want to share. So this is my team. I went for a good bit of experience there at the back of Kiko Cortez, obviously.
I got
Spanish
him
legend in goal.
I picked
What's
him
that,
too,
Louis?
Davey. Smart pick.
Smart. And then, as you can tell, my back four comprises of, well, 2 gentlemen on this call would know an awful lot about that. Drag flickers as well. So I've got, obviously, Yip, Luke Taylor, who's scoring. I think he was the top goal scorer over in England. So you have to obviously check around and see what's going around in the different leagues around Europe. Tim Swan, known from Bloemendaal. And, of course, one of our competitors at Kampong would have been playing from Leopold. And then Kamada, another drag flicker. Again, it'd be a difficult choice now who's actually going to take the flick if this was a team, but he's my captain, so hopefully get a bit of extra points. Zimmer, of course, Belgian legend throughout the Belgian league and a strong player for Leopold. Jan Schiefer, the young, powerful midfielder from Mulheim. And then a legend of the game from my own club, These Colemans up front, as well as a young Spanish striker, Galpez, and Unique van de Drift on Bloemendaal as the other striker as well. So again, we still have a bit of time. We still have a couple of days, and I have no doubt new players will be coming in and coming out over the coming, what is it, about 48, maybe 72 hours before the match at 6 o'clock on Sunday. So I look forward to maybe updating it if I need to.
That's a pretty decent team you have there, Davey.
Not gonna lie to you, and as you can tell, I don't know if you can. Let's see if I can move it. There's still a little bit of budget there, so I haven't obviously gone completely bust.
Yeah, and you still have a lot of good players on the list as well.
Yeah, that's true, and that's why I say it's just about kind of being more tactically astute. You know, it's my experience from doing fantasy and other leagues and other sports as well. Do you recognize that you just don't go gung ho and go, right, I'm going to spend money on this and that and everything? Because, as I said, if I had my fantasy 11 team of an unlimited budget, I would have a few different faces in there. That's for sure.
Do you have that? Do you have an idea on who you would pick on your if you are unlimited budget?
I could go through it very quickly just because if Loic was there, I still wouldn't pick him. But I just go through it here. I would still continue with Cortez in goal. I'd go Payet at right back, Yip Janssen at left back, because some of the best corner flickers in the world at the minute. And for me, two of the best defenders and free defender role in the world would be Sander de Wijn and Arthur van Doorn. Right. Midfield would have been, for me, having played with him now in club level throughout the whole year, Jonas de Geus, the Dutchman, I think is a phenomenal player and would do a bit of a different role to a lot of other midfielders that you have in there. So I'd be happy to put Jonas in there. Tim Herzbruch, of course, the speedy magician from Germany, would have to get kind of a left midfield position and then a holding position in the midfield as well. A bit more attacking prowess than Jonas perhaps at times would be Mats Grambusch. And then up front, I would have goal scorers, Forsyth, Fuchs, and to finish off with Christopher Ruhr.
Okay, nice.
And that would be like 200 mil.
That's over probably too. Yeah. So there you go.
Very
That team.
Very good, very good. All right, Dave, I think you're in with a good chance. I'm happy that you're.
We're starting now, as we said. You know, we've got a bit more time. You know, as you said, if you're the gaffer, you have to look after your squad, and that's what I'll be doing over the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, and what's nice also is we can see how you're doing on the general ratings. So I hope that I will be in front of you.
Yeah, keep an eye. My team name actually comprises of the 3 different teams that I would have played, say, throughout Ireland and here in the Netherlands. So it's kind of a mixture. It's called SV Cork Wanderers. You might like that as well, Bootsy, over there.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
In for that's yeah, nice team name, Dave. Very creative. Okay, very good, Stephen. EHL Communications. Maybe you can tell us a bit from the EHL what your feelings are on the fantasy game.
Yeah, so basically the EHL is famous for innovation. You know, we like to be like a testing ground for kind of new and exciting things for the sport. So yeah, since we started, I think we're kind of famous for things like the self pass and taking the ball over the shoulder height and all these kind of things. So anything like this really gets us excited. And yeah, so we worked with Scored really well last year for the first one for the not stay at home fantasy league last year, and it worked really well. There was loads of people got involved, and I think hockey fans in general are really crying out for something like this. And so now that we're in a different realm, that people are staying at home, they still, like, everyone gives whatever 6 to 10 hours a week to hockey. They think about it all the time, and so now that that's been taken away from them, something like this where they can be on the site all day long and checking the transfers, seeing who's free, I think is a really cool thing for people to be involved. And I think it's going to be really successful, and people are going to love having the time trying to beat their friends and things like that. So we're really pleased that Scored came to us with the concept last year with the fantasy league, and then again came up with the updated version for this, because we were working together again, putting the teams together, and the different squad lists and things like that for this year's competition in anticipation that it was going to be live. So yeah, brilliant to see it carry on through, and it also keeps the EHL in the forefront of people's minds. We're still hopeful that we'll get this year's final 8 played some point later in this year, depending on whether the situations allow. So this obviously Easter is made for the EHL normally, so it's good that it remains in people's minds.
I have a question for you, Stephen. If the EHL doesn't go ahead, are you going to give the EHL trophy to the winner of the fantasy league?
Yeah, we have a board meeting with the EHL in the coming days, so we could definitely propose that. I think it's Yeah, or maybe if it's based on the players that get the most fantasy points from the simulations that can go to those clubs, perhaps.
Yeah, of course. Look, without hockey, everybody's missing hockey. We really all hope that the EHL can be back on soon. It's a fantastic tournament, but the guys that scored have done so well, even to have something that we can all follow. It looks really exciting. Seb, are you back on?
Yeah,
Seb?
I unmuted myself and then I couldn't get back into it, but thanks for.
I was going to say, I think we should go over to Pino, to Loic, because I'm really interested to see what he's done with his team.
My men's team.
Your women's team. That's one of the best things. One of the best things about hockey, and scored really fair play to you guys for following it through. One of the best things about our sport, of course, is we've men's and women's. It's also about 50-50 divide, which is really cool. And this hashtag that I saw there, equally amazing. I think it's absolutely superb. And the fact that we're able to create women's teams, I think, is really nice for the sport. So I believe, Pino, you've created a women's team. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you want, I will share my screen. I never done this, so I'm gonna try.
Not rocket science, man.
No, it's no rocket science, I know. So can everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I made a quick women's team. Nobody was involved, I think. So I just had to watch my budget, and for the rest, I could do whatever I wanted. First of all, I'll start with my team name. Okay, so pretty amazing team. They've been bonding without me. They're in contact with each other to perform on the weekend, so it's pretty important. No, I started my team with my midfield. I think it's the most important line, except goalies, of course, but the midfielders are really important. And I picked, for me, the best player in the world, Eva de Goede, together with Marijn Veen. I think she's a really promising young talent, and she shows some good skill. And then I think we needed a more holding midfielder in Pleun van der Plas from Den Bosch. And then up front, I really went for the big money shots. Like I think there's no better striker than Osaka player Frederike Metla. So she was really on the top of my list. Also, she's taking all the drag flicks and the strokes, of course. So she's in all in, and I think she's gonna make a lot of goals. And then I think Stappenos, the German, is also a really good choice to put up front. I think she can score from anywhere. So I think I'm pretty good in the front six. And at the back, I had to choose for some experience with Irene van den Assem. I think Den Bosch is probably the best women's team in Europe for the last decade. So I picked 3 players from Den Bosch. That was a little bit my focus point. And for the rest, I had to take some losses in the back to go for some lower ranked players because I put all the hot shots up front. So yeah, that's my team, and I think I'm pretty good there. So happy with the girls, and I hope they stay in contact with each other to make a really good team.
And what league are you in, Pino?
I'm in the Braximus League.
The Braximus League. Okay.
Yeah, that's the league with my club, so it's pretty important.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's probably the closest you guys will get to the EHL anyway. Okay.
Oh, Steven. I was going to say something.
No, you don't need to.
Yes, that one ball in the EHL final, Steven, you pushed the ball. Hit it! Could have won it. Could have won it.
Yeah, now I'm curious to your men's team as well.
Yeah? Did I change my screen? Eh?
Yeah.
So, like Davey, I went for Cortez in goal. He was a good, he's always been reliant, and I like him as a guy. Then I had to pick my good friend Lars Balk from Kampong. I think he's also a promising defender. And I like his approach to the game. He's a real defender, and he's not too flashy. I like it. Then Oliver Polkamp. He used to be really, really, really good. Now he got some age and he has some experience, so I put him on the right back for some explosive rushes. Then Romeo from Egara, the Spanish guy. I think he has a really good drag flick, and he seems to be a good guy on the pitch. Then Johannes Gröse, I think he's an underrated player. He's a really good German player, young guy, and a little bit underrated. So he was only 8.5 million. So it was sales for me. It was perfect. Then in the midfield, I went for some speed. Davy, I picked our little friend Pepin Laux.
Little tackle chip, yeah.
Yeah, it's really important for the team atmosphere. You didn't put points on team atmosphere, but it's something you should add. He's really the
One
best guy
rating
for
extra.
yeah,
Here, Marcus. Yeah.
he's the best guy for the third half. So it's really important for this team that they just go all the way. Then Zach Wallace, also underrated player, really quick from GB, and I like him. He's a really, really strong player. I think he will turn out to be one of the greats. Then James Gall is more the controlling midfielder, and he will just pass the ball and do the box-to-box work. So that's my midfield line. And then up front, I went for Barreiros, Verdussen, and Van der Drift. Also, I think Van der Drift is quite a good player, and only 9 million as a striker. So I think I'm pretty happy for my team.
If you played the EHL, Loic, would you have picked yourself?
That's a big if.
Probably not. I would always pick others.
I don't believe that, Pino. I don't believe that.
You'd be captain. You'd be captain. Yeah.
And I wouldn't pick other drag flickers. No, guys, I am not like that.
Who's going to be the drag flicker of Igaya? Because Davy has gambled on Kemada.
Yeah, but Kemada is really good in the Pro League, so he scores everything there. But EHL is not his tournament. Never performed. So for me, it's Romeo.
Good logic. I like that. Yeah.
Excellent. That's a nice team there, Pino.
Yeah, thanks, man. Put some thought in it. Yeah, so it's important to be the best.
Okay. Seb, I'm going to push over to you just to give some last details to everybody, and we're also going to open up, if we've got a few people also have joined the call, if there's any questions that want to come in or anything's not clear, you can put it in the comments now, or what you can do is you can contact Scored on their Instagram, follow them on their Instagram, or you can contact Loic if you need some advice, or if you need some advice from to pick your team. You can also contact Davy Hart. The guys have spent a lot of time, obviously, picking their team. They've gone through all the different options. So, but Seb, if there's anything you want to close on, or if there's any questions that want to come in, please put them in the comments.
Yeah, so obviously for all the questions, because I can understand that some things might be new and a bit difficult. So don't hesitate to push us a message on or on Instagram or even through email if you prefer, to info@scored.com. And otherwise, just pick your team. Just create an account, like it's been showed. It's very easy. You go to score.com and it's free. So just create an account. It takes you one minute and you're ready to go. I would recommend you to ask Davy if you want inspiration and not Loic, because I think his team is better. But just go for it. Like we said, the first game is on Sunday evening, so you got plenty of time left to create your team, to think about it, and to tease your friends. You got nothing else to do anyway, so just do it. And if you have questions, shoot.
Yeah, I think from just in a little bit of closing, I think to the guys that Scored, and also to Steve and Loic and Davy, I think this is really cool for hockey, especially that you're making it, of course, a free game. It's a lot of fun. You can keep the competition going of hockey, and it keeps the community connected. So I think there's nothing more important at this time. Just a quick mention for the next hub. On Monday, we have a hub session with Felix again, and he's talking about player branding. And on Wednesday, we have the guys from Scored coming back, and this is a topic that's come out a lot to us since we started the hub, and that actually we've got a good person here for it as well, Davy Hart. It's about crossing borders. So we're going to talk about players playing abroad, and we have guys from South Africa, Australia. We have guys from all over the world to join, and actually the best people to talk about it is Seb and the guys from Scored.
Yes, I can only confirm that we'll be there. We're looking forward to that session a lot. Yeah, and just one more thing. I get the message from our team that we're doing another Q&A through our Instagram stories this afternoon. So that's perfect if you have any more questions.
Okay, that's scored SCORD, because there was some guys from South Africa were also asking for the details, but you could have seen it on the website. We'll also put it in the comments, and you can see it on our Instagram as well.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Steven.
Okay, guys, thanks for having us, or thanks for coming anyway, and to join us. And we look forward to catching you all on Monday. I'm going to definitely create a team for sure. I think it looks like really a lot of fun. I'm going to spend a bit of time on it. We've got some questions coming in from Teresa, but I think we've just answered it there. We can meet them on score.com. So anything else to finish? Davey, you know?
No, I'm all good, man.
Nothing from my side.
All good. Okay. Guys, take care. Thanks for joining us. See you next
Thanks.
week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.